welcome back to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Getting to Know You series. For our first episode, we have Ian here from Team Rumla, so let's bring him on. Before we get into today's episode, real quick, here's some clips of us 1v1ing in basketball.
Ready? Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Something on you, boy.
Oh! Oh, ish.
Oh, is that four?
That's 4.
Alright. I'm getting tired.
Oh, she won.
Now, let's get back into the video. Welcome to the podcast, Ian.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I'm happy to be a part of your podcast, especially first guest of the season.
Yeah.
That's an honor. It's an honor. I've been hearing a lot of good things, but yeah, definitely happy to be here.
So before we get into some of the questions I want to ask you, I just want to talk about the last week's game because you guys versed each other.
Yeah.
So.
Last week's game, I said it in the chat, if there was a Game of the Year award, I think that would have been the Game of the Year. Like it was a really, really good game. It was hard fought on both ends, both teams.
Yeah.
Going into that game, like leading up to everything, your dad was in the chat the whole week just trying to get in everyone's head, and I was just like, man, I gotta just try my best not to allow him to get into my head. But it was tough, man. They beat us, obviously, but I feel like a couple mistakes and a couple plays that we made, like if we didn't make those plays, and I think we would have won the game. Like, you know what I mean? But it was a learning experience for us as a team, and it was good to see where we match up with them as well. So if we see them again in the playoffs or something like that, like I think it'll be another very good game. We don't know the result of it, but it'll be another very, very good game.
Yeah, because you guys are the two top teams in the league, right? So I think that
I think we were both 3-0 going.
Yeah.
Undefeated. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even. It was just such a all the nerves and stuff. You don't even. I forgot that we were both undefeated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game.
So can I I'll tell you an interesting story about that. Reaching out to you guys in in the chat. So I usually do try to get into people's head, but I usually don't do that unless I'm comfortable with a person or the person's comfortable with me, I know them. But then somebody had shared something where I think Ayan or somebody was telling you guys in your team chat for how he's gonna try to get into your heads and So once I saw that, I'm like, I'm definitely messaging. So I literally went down the list of every single person whose number I had and sent the same exact message to every single person.
It's crazy because when you sent me that message, I was like, oh, all right, that's nice of him. And then Ayan sent that message oh, he's trying to get into your head. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was cool, man. It was real cool.
No, what are some things that you think your team did well in the game that
So one thing about my team this year is I know a lot of people put us as favorites all the time because of IJ, and they think that we don't take any teams they think we take some games lightly, right? That's something that I've noticed in the past anytime we've played a team that we were supposed to win against, my team's always ended up not showing up for the game and playing really bad. So that's something that, with IJ there especially, I think it makes it a little bit harder for us to slack off because he always plays hard.
Yeah.
Right? So especially going into this game, I think I knew what our records were. I knew how your team is built. I saw Chris play one game at that point. So I understood you guys have a very, very good roster, right? And you guys have a roster that matches up on paper with everyone that we have, right? And I think you guys actually have more scoring options than we do at this point. But I think the matchup was going to be very, very tough, and we focused on trying to do the best that we can and not take the game for granted. Like, hey, IJ's gonna kind of just do his thing. Even though on the scoreboard, like he kind of did, right?
He really did.
The way,
and
yeah.
I said it right after the game too. Like it said he had 29. I was like, bro, like where? Like, you know what I mean? Like where did it come from? But I remember guarding him. He took a couple plays off. Like I was trying to guard him with everything in me. Like, you know what I mean? And it got to the point he was like, yo, I need a breather. Like, you know, I heard him like in the game, like I need a breather. But he's tough, man. It's not much you can do when you got someone like that on your team. Like he's very, very tough.
Yeah, and the nice thing that I like about him, and I say this about Kia also, because watching guys like Kia, Tejan, and IJ that can like take over a game, these guys are also very like unselfish players.
Yeah,
like
he's
Kia,
very
like I see him passing the ball. Like I told Kia, like one of the biggest things I was impressed by with his game is 50% of the time I feel like when he gets the ball, he's passing it. So it's not just give me the ball and I'm gonna score. I'm gonna score when I need to, but I'm moving the ball around. Right, and IJ is the same way. Like I feel like he creates. He will drive in. He'll find people. He's vocal. He's telling people where to go. Like if you watch a lot of the videos, you hear him yelling out. Like I hear my name. Like Fahad, go here. Fahad, go. Like, it's good to like have guys like that on your team.
Yeah, I played with IJ a couple of seasons ago, and I got the chance to learn how to lead a team and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? He's very vocal. He knows what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and when he needs to step in and take control over a game. So, blessing to be playing with him and against him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I do agree. Sorry, I do agree. You guys could have won that game, right? And I think I said this to a few guys on your team after our game was, I think. In this case, a loss for you guys was probably better than a win, because if you guys had won, I feel like you guys may have gone overconfident. But like losing and the game being so close, because I don't think the game was ever more than like 5-6 point difference at any point, right? So being that close the whole way for 40 minutes and being right there till the end, I think gives you guys a confidence that you guys can beat us next time, right? Which is good, because I think you never want to go up and play against somebody if you don't think you can beat them.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think your team did wrong?
Passed away. I'm just kidding.
There was a couple plays. There was one play I remember. We spoke about it after the game. There was a play. It was like 2 minutes left in the game, and we were tied. And I would bring in the ball down, and I try to get a quick basket. And I'd like pulled up for a 3, and like thinking about it now, I was like, that was probably not the right play. Like we probably could have ran some clock down, got a quick basket, put Chris in the post against Mac, because like he had some success there. But yeah, there was that play. There was obviously the steal, like you know what I mean. Like there's that play. There's a couple of plays where like. We could have did something different.
If Ion hits that 3, that would have tied the game up
if
again.
If Ion hits that 3, you know what I mean? But like we said, we're going to live with Ion taking that shot 10 times out of 10. He was wide open. He just hit a 3 before the play. Like, we're going to live with him taking that shot. And, we're going to put confidence on him to, if he's in that situation again, he can take that shot again. Like,
Yep. Was there anything else you guys want to talk about the game before we get into the other questions?
Not really. I'm looking forward to seeing them again, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, I was wondering, actually, because, like we're very vocal in the chat, but what was your guys' like mindset going into that game? Like, did you guys have a specific plan? Like, what did you guys, how did you prepare for that game against
literally, so it was a similar preparation to Kia. Like, it was just like anybody but Kia. Like, you know what I mean? And IJ ended up having a really good game. And then when he kicked the ball off, this is the thing that I didn't realize about IJ. IJ, like, instills a lot of confidence in his players. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, when he kicked the ball out, we're thinking, like, oh, yeah, he kicked it to Yusuf. Yusuf cashed the 3. Yeah. Nothing against Yusuf. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yusuf is awesome. But, like, and then there was another play. He kicked it to David. David cashed another layup, catching rebounds. Hasib ended the game. Yeah. Rebounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so... yeah, it was literally just like, we're just going to play man, try to contain IJ as much as possible, and we'll live with the results. And that's what we did. But, they executed everything that they could have executed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but like I said, it's a learning experience. Yeah. I was very happy with the game.
So now we can get into the actual questions. So I want to start by the beginning of the season. So I know a couple people were like talking about like how they thought about the draft, and like Yasin and they did a podcast about it. So what did you think about the draft?
The draft?
Yeah.
The draft, first of all, implementing the draft in the league is just, that was really cool. I had no idea that they were doing it this year. And then I found out that I got drafted. I was like, wait, drafted? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But no, I'm about it. I like it. It brings like a lot of like a lot of talk, like, you know what I mean, like, because guys are like, oh, I was drafted before you, drafted before you, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, so I like it. I think it's cool. It's good for the league, it's good for the community, and yeah, we're looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah, and last year's draft, I think, a lot of the captains were the same, and we added 2 more teams. So James and L became the 2 new captains this year. So a lot of the strategy going into this year's draft was based off of like stuff that they realized when they did the draft last year. So it was like, now going forward, if you continue to do something like this, you're gonna constantly see guys drafting a team based off of like what happened the season before.
Right, yeah.
So you're always gonna constantly get new teams, guys on different teams playing against each other all the time, which I think personally builds brotherhood anyway, because everyone gets to play together.
I think for as long as IJ is going to be in the draft, he's always going to be pick number 1. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, it was cool. I was very excited to see it.
Yeah, I know you were saying like you're talking about last season. So you weren't there last season, right? So the season before that, what do you notice different from the last season you played to now how it is now, like podcast and like everything like that?
It's so much more. It's first of all, it's a lot more competitive. There's usually like a consensus, like, oh, this team is gonna win. This year, obviously, like, I think they're probably like the top team, but there's a couple teams that are sneaking up right behind them. Like, you got, if not our team, you got Kia's team, who's very tough. You got Tajon's team, Tajon is a beast athlete, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you got all these teams making trades and stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying? So there's not like no clear-cut favorite to win, which is new this year and like the past couple of years, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's cool. And I feel like having the chat in the league, a lot guys are more vocal, and you know what I mean, there's a lot more smack talk, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, which has not been, I don't know if it's been around, but I've never been a part of it. But now that I'm in the chat, I'm like, wow, like, you know what I mean, like, leading up to the week, everybody's talking about who's this, who's that, like, so yeah, that's some differences that I noticed.
Yep.
Which has been really cool.
Yeah, I think a lot more people are involved. It's not like in the past where you show up Saturday, play a game, and then go home and see everyone next Saturday, right? You got the podcast, you got the chat, you got folks sending out memes, like, you know, it's just
memers
all the time.
There's an MB meme page now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then now people are finding about flaming hot food spots. Like, now we're going to food spots after games and stuff like that, which is all new. But it's
which I will say, I think that's a great addition to, like, just like the next step from where we left off in the league last year. Like, we played like Ayan, Maz, all these guys, like, we all went out to eat after our game last week, right? Like, well, I don't see any other leagues where like guys play hard, play a tough game, go battle head to head, talk a little bit of trash to each other, but then the game's done and like, hey, let's go out to eat together.
Yep.
You know, so it's fun.
So now I want to get into like some questions about like when you got into the league. So what got you back into the league?
So my first time playing against any of the guys in the NBA league, we played in some tournament. I forgot the name of it, but I played with a bunch of guys, and we matched up against Ion's team, which was coached by IJ. They had like Ion, Gauss, the twins, Sully. Like, I think it was the youth team at the time. Like, you know what I mean? So we played them in the game, And Ion is in my ear the whole game, just wow, 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 just talking so much. Oh my God, him and Hasib was on the team too. They were just in my ear the whole game, just because before we played them, I ended up playing 2 other games. It was like a tournament. I think it was like double elimination or something like that. And they had been hearing about how I've been playing. So when we matched up with them, they were just in my ear the whole game. Da, 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 da. And the game came down to Ion's team had the ball, and they went down. It was like maybe 15 seconds or something like that. Ion went down. They tried to draw a foul or something like that. Ion turned the ball over. So I had the ball. Our team had the ball. I'm getting ready to catch the inbound. We got like 5 seconds left. I come down, boom, 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 whatever. I hit a game winner, and we win the game. And then after the game, they're like talking smack, still talking smack. I'm like, bro, you just lost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's how I ended up getting into the league. Me and Ion exchanged contact information, and then after that, he's like, yo, you want to play in another tournament? I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, and then that fall is when I first played my first MB game with Ion, the U team, exactly. And IJ was on our team at that time. Yeah. So that's how I ended up getting into that was.
Oh, so you guys won? That's the season you guys won. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the season I won. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how I got into the MB.
Nice.
So how many seasons have you played?
This is my second season. No, yeah, this is my second season. I think last season they did. I'm not sure what they did. I thought it was like a only Muslim or
they did shrink it down. And again, normally we would have like 10 people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
They shrunk it down to like 8, just because I think the Jersey League and the PA League, they wanted to try to see how it would go.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily agree with the way it was done, but the draft idea I think was something that made the big difference. And like we're just now going back to like, hey, everyone that wants to play that's been a good part of the league that deserves to be in this league and is a good character person, good basketball player, and things like that. So yep.
So do you want to go through like each, like I know how they have the power rankings on the website, but you wanna do like what you think the power rankings are?
Oh yeah, I'll do that. That's cool. Yeah. So obviously, only reason I'm gonna give them number 1 is because they beat us. Like, so I'm gonna give them number 1. I think we're number 2. We're right under them, like right under them. Number 3, I'm gonna give it to Kia's team. They're tough, and their only loss is against my team. After that, I'm probably gonna give it to Taejon's team.
These are all the
just
teams
because.
So we don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
He just has the captain's name on it and stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, I gave you guys number 1. We're number 2. Kia's team is 3. Taejon's team is 4. 5. I'm gonna go Lod for 5. Okay. They've made some good additions, and they're playing really good basketball. I think their best thing that they did was making Idris play off the ball rather than bring the ball down. After that, I'd probably give it to who's Lod.
Janine probably is Yassine's team.
Yassine's team.
And then so we have Janine, Gaza, and Al Khalil left.
Yeah, after Lod, I'm probably gonna go Gaza. Gaza and Janine, they could go 6 or 7, and then.
And they just made a trade with each other, right?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. And then Onward's team, only because they just haven't figured out what they need to figure out yet. I think Saad is still trying to figure out what he needs to do on that team. But I think once they figure it out, they're going to be tough too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that 0-4 record is a good representation of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't think teams should see that 0-4 record and be like, oh yeah, it's an easy game. Like, no. Anytime you go against Anwar, it's not going to be like an easy game. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's very, very, very tough.
And so. 2 weeks ago when they played against Taejon's team, they should have won that game.
Yeah,
there was a couple of little things at the end, and then I think Saad had that foul.
Yeah, Saad. Yeah, I don't think he realized that the game was tied. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but yeah, that was exactly, and they're one that that would be different between 1-3 and 0-4. Like you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's my power rankings for.
What about you?
My power rankings. I mean, 1 through 5, 1 through 7. I don't really care for too much because I think it can go back and forth. But I definitely put L at last place, especially because we're playing them this week. They just got their first win on a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
And then they traded the guy that hit that shot. So I'm putting them last.
Yo, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Word.
That losing streak is gonna start right back up this weekend.
So, is there any games or any players that stood out to you the most so far this season?
This season?
Yeah.
I mean, since I've seen pretty much everyone, one player that did stick out is Tajon. I didn't know who he was. And then when I saw him play the first, I'm like, wow, like, he's very, very athletic. Tajon definitely stuck out. Kia. I knew Kia before, but I've never seen him play this level of basketball that he's playing at right now. He's playing out of his mind. When we played him, Maz wanted to guard him, and I was just like, all right, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Because we were going to put Ion on Ismail, but I didn't realize that Ismail was so much bigger than Ion, and Ion is so foul prone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he loves getting in foul trouble for some reason. So, when and then the first, like, 10 minutes of the game, he had 13 points. I'm like, all right, like, I gotta guard him. Like, you know, like, I gotta guard him. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, he's a tough cover. If you leave him alone for a split second, like, that's all he needs, just to see the rim. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, even, like, that game, like, people are saying, like, that was, like, his worst game. And he shot what some people will... That's what I'm saying. And he shot what some people would consider, like, their best game. And, like, that was a bad game for him. And I'm just like, all right, like... You know what I mean? But yeah, he's definitely stood out to me. And obviously IJ, like he's different. Like, you know what I mean? I remember guarding him too. I remember like, so a lot of players only have 2 moves. IJ has that third move at all times. Like, so when you're guarding him, like, you take away this move and then he goes this way, and then all right, you take away that move, and then he goes a whole nother, like, you know what I mean? So he's very tough. So yeah, those are my 3 that stood out.
So speaking of that, what you just brought up, you notice because these 3 guys are pretty much new in the league. Nijan, Kia, IJ is on my team, so it's, you know, but when you watch these guys play basketball, like, do you pick up on, like, because everyone has a little bit of a tell sometimes on, like, what they would like to do or what they prefer to do. Do you notice anything with any of these guys?
Yeah, you pick it up. Well, I haven't played Tajon yet, so I can't speak to him. But I noticed with Kia, he's very strong going to his right hand. And I noticed that when Maz was guarding him, I'm like, you can't let him go to his right hand. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you watch the footage from when I was guarding him, I would literally play him and stand right next to his right hand so he couldn't use it. Like, and he still scored. Like, you know what I'm saying? But with IJ, you just gotta harass him, like, you know what I'm saying, like, make him as tired as you can possibly do, and that still might not work, like, you know what I mean. So those are just some things that I noticed so far. And with Kia likes to get to that little pull-up jump shot that he likes to hit
on the wing.
On the wing, like, he loves that pull-up jump shot. You think because and then another thing guarding Kia too, he's deceptively quick. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize how quick he is until you're in front of him. So he will make a couple, like, strong steps to the rim and then just pull up. Like, you know what I mean? Where other people will make some strong steps and then they're going for the layup. Like, you know? So you can stop on a dime as quick as possible.
I don't think we played them for like 2 weeks, but I'm interested on being on the court with him at the same time because I feel like it's different watching versus being in the game. Yeah. But I've seen that with him where he has that move where he comes down and just before you can blink, he pulls up. Yeah. And then he uses that to set himself up where he'll run down, pretend like he's gonna pull up, and then just go right by you. Right. So I want to kind of see it like in a game against him to see how quick that really is. But it's I'm very impressed with that.
No, yeah, he's very tough, very, very good basketball player.
Yep. So is there anything else, like anything about the league that you want to ask one of us?
Question. What do you mean?
Like a question that you wanna, anything about the league or anything that you wanna know, like or.
Oh well, you guys are sitting sideline watching everything, so I want to know what your thoughts are. Who are some people that are standing out to you, and what did you think of our game? Yeah, that's right.
So your game was like very very back and forth. Like as you were saying, it would 100% like so far, and I think like the rest of the games played, like your game would be the game of the year. It was very very back and forth. So like you would like there was no point of the game that you would be able to tell which team
was gonna
win. Yeah, like even when we did the predictions, I had no idea who was gonna win. So like I just based it off the lineups, but I think both teams played very well. Yeah.
No, 'cause, I mean, there's always going to be games where like you have two very good teams going at it, and sometimes instead of like thinking about who's going to win or not, it's just good to sit back and just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah. I remember looking at the scoreboard a couple times, like, damn, like.
No, I won't lie. There were times when I looked at the scoreboard in our game, and I'm just like, I thought we were up by a lot more, and then there are times where like I thought we were down by a lot more, right? So it was just back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So now do you want to get into like some personal questions?
Yeah, that's fine.
So what sports did you play growing up?
So when I was younger, I played basketball. Obviously, I played football. A lot of people don't know that I started playing football first. Football was fun, but it wasn't like I don't know what it was. Like you know what I'm saying? It just didn't stick with me. And then after a while, I started leaving football practice to go pick up basketball. Like you know what I'm saying? And then after that, it was just like, all right, this is it for me. Like you know, but that was my sport. I played a little bit of soccer as well. I played goalie. And now like growing up, as I got older, I started playing like different sports, volleyball, softball, like you know what I mean. All these sports for fun, but basketball was the one sport that that was the sport that I took serious.
I've been trying to get a bunch of the guys together for a softball game.
Softball.
I used to play softball a lot in Jersey. Play baseball before that, and I think we have enough guys to be able to run like a nice pickup.
We could run a really good pickup softball game. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah. I think the time to do that would be now while the weather is hot. Like you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Probably wait till it's not 100 degrees out. Like you know, but yeah.
So what made you into basketball?
It was just something that we did as kids. Like you know what I mean. I grew up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, New York. We played in the street. Like we used to put a basketball hoop on a tree. Yeah. We used to like nail it onto a tree, and we'd play in the middle of the street. And like every time a car would come, we'd have to get out the middle, like car, like you know what I'm saying. So we had to clear out, and you know what I'm saying. But it was just something that we did. Even like when we were younger, so I lived in middle school. I lived in Ridgewood, Queens. We used to walk to Bushwick, New York, to go play like with kids who were like really really good. Like, and that was something that we have always been like super competitive. Like you know what I mean. So we used to walk to go play in the toughest courts at all times. Like it was just like something that we did all the time. Me and my siblings, just growing up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you from?
So I'm originally from Brooklyn. Grew up in Flatbush, but I went to high school in Staten Island. So when people ask me that, like I usually say Staten Island because that's like where I grew up and like that's where I found myself. Like you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say Staten Island, but I was originally born in Flatbush. So
do you currently play any other sports?
Now, so I'm kind of caught in a little bit of because I want to play flag football as well. Flag football is fun. We played last year. We won the championship. So I wanted to play that again. But this league has been getting like kind of serious, so I don't want to play any other sport right now. I'm just like focusing on Saturday mornings whenever I got to match up with these guys. Maybe after the season's over, I'll play something else.
Ish, I could tell you a story about that because these guys play flag football and basketball in the summer, and like I knew how competitive the summer season was gonna be, so I literally told them they're not allowed to play any sports this year. Because I want to focus on basketball. Yep.
Yeah.
So before we get into the rapid fire questions, do you want to do predictions for next week?
Sure.
For next week, yeah. Let's see the matchups.
Let's pull up the games. This is it. This is it right here.
Okay.
All right. First game is my team versus L's team. Rafa versus Gaza.
Oh, you guys play at 9.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with Rafa for that game, only because Gaza just made a trade for Sully, and this is Sully's first game playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they don't know how Sully plays, so I think it's gonna be a bit of an adjustment for them. But just for that reason, I'm gonna go Rafa. Like, you know what I'm saying? For our game, obviously, I'm gonna go our team. We're gonna be shorthanded this week, but I think we can still get it done.
Yeah, and you guys are playing Usman's team, so that's Tejan.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think we can still get it done. We're gonna be shorthanded, but I think we can still figure it out. We've been talking strategy all week. I would say one thing too, like us losing to you guys, that was like really good because now we've been like so locked in. Like this whole week we've been so locked in, like as a team, just like going over strategy and what we need to do to be better. So I think this weekend's game is going to be a good one. Let's see.
Janine versus Sheikh Jarrah. So Yassine versus Kia Monum's team.
I'm actually excited to see this game. This is going to be a good one. Especially I want to see what they look like, what will cost us instead of Sully. But I think Mona's team gets the W here. I think Dion's my boy, by the way. I think Dion is figuring himself out, and now teams can't just focus on Kia anymore. Like now you have to figure out what you want to do with Dion as well. And they also played last week without Jacob, who was like probably top rebounder in the league. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be different.
They only had 5 guys last week.
Yeah, exactly right. And they almost had 100 last week.
I think.
Yo, wow, yeah. Those guys are figuring out. Akbar, Monum hit a couple threes last week too.
I think I heard Monum was like 7 of 10 from the field last week.
Ridiculous. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when those guys figure out everything, I think they get the W though.
Yeah.
For Lod and I'm gonna go Lod there as well. I think James's team is figuring out some things as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were just talking about Aegis off the ball, Cody running the one, and the thing about it too, Cody hasn't found his offense. So once Cody finds his offense, they're going to be a tough team to beat. Like I think we see them again this season. I'm not looking forward to it, but yeah, I think Lod takes that one too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about James's team is that they have a lot of very quick, athletic guys.
Yeah.
Right. They can run up and down the court with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have guys that can play like that, they can come back in any game. Right?
At any game, yeah. At any game. And with the addition of Manveer now to grab some boards and stuff for them, like it's a different team. And I think they looked really good last week.
Yeah.
So
I will say I'm excited about seeing Salman also on Anwar's team.
Yeah.
See how he fits, and also Wasay on Usman's team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Wasay fits on that team so well because you have guys like Tejan.
Yeah.
That do pretty much everything on the court, right?
Yep.
And the way teams are gonna play him gives a perfect position for Wasay to be there for those shots that he likes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? So I think they're gonna be able to stretch their offense out a little bit more, may force the defense to have to play either be honest and let Tejan cook you or stay back and let somebody like Wasay or Yassine or somebody else get those open looks.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see those matchups. I think Salman Yeah, like you said, like they have to. I think they have a couple of guys that need to just figure out like how they want to run their offense.
No.
But I think you know they'll. I think they have too much talent to be on for.
No, yeah, they're not gonna be owned for long.
Yeah.
A team I think that is gonna do like a lot better is Yasin's team, because before they didn't have that one guy being like that primary scorer on their team, but now getting Ross, now they have him there to be scoring, and they have like players around him that can also score, but they just didn't have that one lead scorer. So I think they're gonna like figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested to see that as well, because I think they're gonna gel a lot more better than they did with Sully.
Yeah, I think the issue with Sully on that roster was it took away from Yasin and and Hakeem to be able to play to their strength.
Yeah.
Right, because they can't go down low, right? So they should open it up a lot more for them. I expect Hakeem. Like I feel like Hakeem's having a very quiet, very statistically low, scoring year. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Sully demanded the ball so much, and he got the ball so much that it was really him trying to carry the team.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So now do you want to get into the rapid fire?
Rapid fire.
Yep.
All right. Rapid fire.
We're gonna have so I really liked how they for the NBA podcast how they did the 1 minute to do the predictions. So we're actually gonna do we're gonna have 1 minute to answer all the questions.
All the rapid fire questions. Yep. How many questions are there?
320.
Like 12.
Okay.
I think 12 or 13. Okay. Okay. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Favorite player in the league?
IJ.
Favorite NBA team?
Lakers.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Coffee or soda?
Coffee.
Ayan or Maz?
No, I'm not answering that. No. I can't do that.
Favorite NBA player?
Kobe Bryant, RIP.
Cookies or brownies?
Brownies.
Tacos or steak?
Steak.
Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Roller coasters or water slides?
Roller coasters.
Rain or snow?
Snow. Yeah.
Better trash talker? My dad or Chris?
Your dad. Yeah. That's
You have about 10
hilarious.
seconds left.
Oh, nice.
That's hilarious. Nah, Iron or Maz, you're not getting me in trouble. I'm not doing that. Yeah.
We usually do that a lot with guys that like obviously guys that know they can take a joke and stuff, but especially when there's like guys on the same team, we make the teammate have to pick one of the other, so makes it a little bit more fun.
Nah, yeah, I wouldn't even know how to answer that question, honestly. They're both like in the same like kind of realm for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like having two little brothers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't pick one little brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Does Chris fit into that too?
Chris is older than us. So
I know, but I'm saying like the way he acts and stuff.
Oh yeah. Like is he like? Are they like his little brothers too? Oh yeah. Do you see how they like communicate? Yeah. They have like this unspoken like communication where they just like make fun of each other all the time, and like you know what I'm saying. But it works out like. But when we get on the court, like all that stuff goes out the window. I think we communicate well as a team.
Yeah.
And that honestly it helps us out like with our chemistry, the chemistry that everyone thought we would not have. Like, you know what I'm saying? And now everyone's in the chat trying to knock our chemistry off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
But you're always gonna have that. You're always gonna have teams that wanna, like if they fear you that you're gonna beat them. Yeah. They're always gonna try to find something.
No,
to
I know.
take
Yeah.
advantage of.
I'm noticing it.
I want to ask you a question. This kind of goes, it's almost like a rapid fire question, but I was having a conversation with somebody on my team about this earlier today. So if you had a choice on being on a team where you're guaranteed to win, or you have players that you like playing with, which one would you choose?
No, I'm going guaranteed to win. I love winning.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's a tough question, honestly. It depends on the circumstance. You know what I mean? Like if we're playing in the NBA league and you're playing with a bunch of people you like playing with, I'm gonna go with playing with a bunch of people. But like if I'm playing in some other kind of tournament, then I'm going to win. Like you know what I mean? Like yeah.
That's fair, because if you're in a tournament, you don't know anyone else. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my answer to that one would definitely be playing with a team that like I enjoy being on, because I'm confident in like the guys that are gonna be on my team. Right?
Yeah.
So guaranteed win is one thing, but like to win with guys that you want to play with and you enjoy playing with, like that's gonna feel different.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's
right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else at all?
I should have got some rapid fire questions for you.
Yeah.
I was not prepared.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. But no, I don't have everything else.
Thank you so much for coming again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Yep, we really appreciate you coming on. I guess we will see Saturday. I want to have Elle give a little shout out to him just as a reminder. Be ready Saturday morning. Right? Sully, you too. Make sure you wake up on time.
Thank you so much to Ian for coming on the podcast today. I'll see you everyone on Saturday. I'll be there selling my chocolate as always, and I'm selling coffee, so you can get iced coffee now. So I'll see you then. It's your work signing off.